You keep wondering why nothing's changing. You keep waking up in the same life, facing the same problems, running into the same wall. And let me tell you why. Because you're still negotiating with the old you. You haven't killed that version yet. The one that hits snooze instead of rising up. The one that talks a good game but never follows through. The one that's addicted to comfort, allergic to pressure, and terrified of real change. And as long as you keep trying to bring that version of you into the future you're asking for, you will never get there. That version has to go. That version has to die. You've got goals. You've got dreams. You've got a picture in your head of the life you say you want. But you can't live that life while still thinking like the person who hasn't earned it yet. You can't get to the next level carrying the baggage of who you used to be. That old mindset, it's outdated. That weak self-talk, it's expired. That doubt, that hesitation, that fear you keep entertaining, that's the enemy. You're out here trying to change your circumstances without changing your identity. That's why it's not working. That's why you keep slipping. Because every time pressure hits, every time the grind gets heavy, you revert back to what's familiar. And familiar is exactly what's keeping you broken and behind. You don't need another plan. You don't need another quote, another video, another spark of motivation. You need to decide right now that the old you is done. That version of you that keeps quitting halfway, that keeps justifying why you're not consistent, that keeps blaming people for where you are in life. That version is killing your future, and every time you give it power, you lose momentum. Every time you entertain its voice, you lose focus. Every time you compromise with it, you lose an opportunity to grow. You're losing time, you're losing potential, you're losing the very life you said you were building. Stop trying to change while still protecting your past. Stop trying to evolve while still nurturing your weaknesses. You can't elevate with a weight tied to your ankle. And that weight is who you used to be. It's every bad habit, every excuse, every limiting belief you've held on to like it's part of your identity. Let it go. Let it die. Stop giving CPR to a version of yourself that was never built for where you're going. You want to be great, but you're still having conversations with average. You want discipline, but you're still making room for distractions. You say you want it, but your actions are still negotiating with the lazy version of you that's only comfortable when things are easy. That version, it's not your friend, it's your enemy. It's the voice in your head telling you to rest when it's time to rise. It's the whisper telling you to slow down when you need to be pressing harder. And it's got to go because the life you're chasing, it won't make room for both of you. You don't need to be more talented. You don't need to wait for the perfect timing. You just need to stop compromising. You just need to stop choosing convenience over conviction. The old you is addicted to validation, to comfort, to routine. But the new you, the one that's locked in, that version is relentless. That version doesn't second guess. That version wakes up with a mission and doesn't leave space for excuses. There comes a time when you've got to make a decision that this is the last day the old you has any power. Burn the bridge. Cut the tie. Make it personal, because if you don't, you'll wake up a year from now stuck in the same cycle, saying the same things, wishing for the same results. And that's a slow death. You deserve better, but better won't come to you. You've got to become it. You've got to kill the person holding you back and build the version of you that's finally ready to take what's yours. It's time to stop negotiating with your old self and start building the life you said you were born to live. Everybody wants to be reborn, but nobody wants to die first. See, everybody loves the idea of transformation, until it comes knocking in the form of pain. But I'm here to tell you the truth. Pain is the price of rebirth. You can't create the life you deserve without walking through fire. You can't elevate without discomfort, and if you're not willing to go through it, then stop saying you want it. Stop saying you're hungry for more if you can't handle the heat that comes with the process. Growth is not gentle. It's not convenient. It doesn't come wrapped in ease. It's loud. It's uncomfortable. It's messy. But that's how you know you're being shaped. You've got to be willing to hurt a little now so you don't die full of regret later. That pain you're running from, that pressure that makes you want to quit, that's the very thing trying to transform you. It's carving out the weakness. It's exposing the lies you've been telling yourself. It's stripping away the excuses. But the problem is, the moment pain shows up, most people run. Most people back off. They hit pause. They start looking for detours. You can't get to your breakthrough with a soft heart and a quit button. You've got to make up your mind that pain won't break you. It's gonna build you. And don't confuse discomfort with punishment. You're not being punished. You're being prepared. Every sleepless night, every lonely grind, every door that slammed in your face, it's not there to destroy you. It's there to develop you. It's building your character, building your resilience, building your capacity. You say you want more, but you don't get more until you can handle more. You don't get the reward until you pass the test. And the test is pain. People love to say they're self-made. But what they don't tell you is that the self that made them had to suffer. That version of them had to go through betrayal, through loss, through sacrifice. You don't become strong in the spotlight. You become strong in the dark when nobody's clapping, when nobody's watching, when it's just you, the grind, and the pain that's trying to convince you to give up. That's where champions are built, not in celebration, but in silence. So don't resent the pain, don't resist it, let it teach you, let it shape you, let it show you what you're made of. You've been praying for strength, but strength doesn't show up in comfort. It shows up in struggle. You've been asking for elevation, but elevation requires excavation. It digs up everything inside you that can't come with you to the next level. It brings your weaknesses to the surface so you can destroy them. It brings your fears into the light so you can conquer them. That's not cruelty, that's construction. Every great life was built through a season of pain. Go ask anyone who's living the life they deserve and they'll tell you it didn't come easy. They paid for it with tears, with time, with pressure. You're out here trying to avoid the very thing that's required. And if you keep running from pain, you'll keep running from purpose. There is no shortcut to transformation. There's no elevator to the top. It's all uphill and it's gonna hurt, but you've got to embrace it. You've got to smile in the face of it. You've got to bleed and still keep swinging, because that's how you kill the old you. That's how you make room for the version of you that can handle what's coming. You're not supposed to be comfortable right now. You're supposed to be under pressure. You're supposed to feel the stretch. That's how you know you're being molded into something new. Diamonds are created under pressure. Warriors are built in battle. You don't become elite by avoiding the process. You become elite by enduring it. So when it gets hard, when it gets heavy, when it feels like everything is falling apart, don't fold, lean in. That pain is proof that you're in the process of becoming. The life you deserve isn't waiting for you at the finish line. It's hiding behind the pain you keep dodging. Go through it, face it, own it, because on the other side of that pain is the power you've been searching for all along. Everybody wants to change their life, but they're still waiting on motivation to carry them there. Let me make this clear. Motivation is a liar. Motivation will hype you up one day and ghost you the next. Motivation gets you excited, but doesn't show up when life punches you in the mouth. What you need is discipline. Discipline is the real MVP. Discipline don't care how you feel. It don't need a good mood, the perfect weather, or a playlist to get going. Discipline is the voice inside you that says, "We do this no matter what." It's consistent. It's committed. It's not emotional. It's focused. You've been starting strong but finishing weak because you're depending on emotion instead of building structure. Discipline is structure. Discipline is the foundation that your new life stands on. You can't build anything solid without it. You say you want the life you deserve, But are you willing to do the work when you don't feel like it? Are you willing to keep pushing when nobody's clapping for you? Are you showing up when the fire inside you has gone cold? That's discipline. That's the new identity you need to wear every single day. And the truth is, most people aren't losing because of lack of talent. They're losing because they keep negotiating with their feelings. They let their emotions lead. They let a bad day turn into a bad week. They miss one workout and start spiraling. They break one habit and throw the whole routine away. That's not discipline. That's weakness disguised as being human. And while that might make you feel better in the short term, it destroys your future in the long run. You don't need more breaks. You need more backbone. See, discipline is what rewires your brain. It turns action into identity. You do something long enough with consistency, and soon it becomes who you are. That's how you kill the old self, not by inspiration, but by repetition. Every early morning you don't want to get up but still do. That's a death blow to your old self. Every time you push through the workout you didn't feel like doing, that's a brick laid in your new foundation. Every healthy meal, every focused hour of work, every intentional choice when the lazy version of you is begging for comfort, that's discipline, and that's what builds the new you. You want to know how people get to that elite level. It's not because they feel like doing it all the time. It's because they don't give themselves permission to quit. Discipline is saying, I don't care how I feel. I care what I said I was going to do. It's honoring the commitment long after the excitement has left the room. You said you were going to be great. Well, greatness has a schedule. Greatness shows up even when it's tired, even when it's discouraged, even when life ain't playing fair, and I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying there won't be days where it feels like everything is trying to pull you back to who you used to be, but that's where discipline steps in. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you're trying to become. You don't become disciplined overnight. It's a grind, it's a fight, but it's a fight worth showing up for every day, because without it you stay stuck. You stay average, and average is the graveyard of potential. Discipline isn't glamorous, it's not flashy, but it's powerful. It's the quiet force that keeps you moving when everything else says stop. It's the mindset that says, I don't need applause, I need progress. And every time you honor that mindset, you're building momentum. You're creating a rhythm of execution that doesn't need hype to function. And that's the difference between people who try and people who transform. The truth is, your future isn't in someone else's hands. It's in your habits, and if your habits don't match your vision, then you're not building. You're just dreaming, so stop chasing motivation. Stop waiting to feel ready. Become disciplined. Build the kind of character that moves in silence and wins in public. Because once you make discipline your identity, there's no version of you that can be stopped. You keep saying you want more, but your standards still look like someone who's okay with less. You say you're ready to change your life, but you're still tolerating the same habits, the same environment, the same people, and the same mindset that's been keeping you stuck. Let me tell you something straight. The life you deserve demands a higher standard. Not just when people are watching, not just when it's convenient, but every single day. This isn't about doing more. This is about becoming more. And to become more, you've got to stop settling. Most people don't fail because they lack potential. They fail because they keep accepting average behavior from themselves. They've lowered the bar so far that anything above rock bottom feels like progress. But I'm telling you now, good enough is not good enough anymore. You're not here to live a good enough life. You weren't born for mediocrity. You weren't created to coast. You were built to dominate. You were built to lead, to elevate, to break cycles, to build something real. But that doesn't happen when you let yourself off the hook every time it gets hard. That doesn't happen when you make quitting an option. You've got to raise your standards so high that excuses can't even breathe around you. Raising your standard means holding yourself accountable at a different level. It means showing up even when nobody's clapping for you. It means expecting more from yourself than anyone else does. It means no more shortcuts, no more half effort, no more "I'll do it later." Later is the enemy. Later is a lie. Later is how you wake up 5 years from now wondering where all your time went. You don't need later. You need now. You need to start demanding greatness from yourself right now. The truth is, you've tolerated too much from yourself for too long. You've let yourself slide. You've let feelings drive decisions. You've made too many compromises. You've settled for friendships that don't challenge you, routines that don't grow you, and goals that don't stretch you. That ends today. From this point forward, you've got to walk like someone who expects success. You've got to speak like someone who respects their own mission. You've got to move like someone who refuses to live beneath their purpose. And when you raise your standard, don't expect everybody to celebrate you. People will call you obsessed. They'll call you arrogant. They'll say you're doing too much. But that's because they're still trying to make peace with being average. You don't need that noise. Let them talk while you build. Let them joke while you grow. Because they won't be laughing when they see the results of your discipline, your sacrifice, your commitment to a higher standard. You want to know what separates the ones who just talk from the ones who walk it out. Standards, the real ones, don't just set goals. They raise their minimums. They don't wait for perfect. They perfect their discipline. They don't just want it. They require it from themselves. It's non-negotiable. When you truly raise your standard, quitting isn't an option. Taking a day off from your dream isn't an option. Waking up without purpose isn't an option. You remove the escape routes. You close the back doors. You stop giving yourself permission to play small. And don't you dare lower your standard to fit into places you've outgrown. Stop shrinking your mindset just to stay comfortable. Stop watering down your vision so other people don't feel insecure around you. If they can't handle your growth, let them go. You weren't put on this earth to make people feel okay about staying stuck. You were put here to rise, to lead, to become the version of yourself that honors the calling over the comfort. The life you deserve doesn't respond to your intentions. It responds to your standards. What you tolerate determines what you build. So look at your life, look at your habits, look at your circle. Are they helping you grow, or are they helping you settle? If you want to live different, you've got to move different. It starts with the standard you set, and the standard you refuse to drop for anything or anyone. From this moment on, raise the bar so high that even your old self can't reach it.